All right. Hope everybody's doing good today. And I'm dropping stuff already. I'll try and get this set up. It's been kind of a pain in the rear end to get these set up so where I can talk about them. Oh boy. All right. So, I don't have all of my Mezco figures here, but I figured I would just kind of chat about them. I've had a lot of these for quite a while. Um, and I haven't really talked about Mezco too much. I actually have some that have been in storage for quite a while, and I plan on opening these today. Woodman, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for popping in, buddy, and thanks for modding. I appreciate you. I figured I haven't really talked about Mezco too much, so I figured I would make a video kind of just giving my thoughts and doing a little bit of a retrospective, just kind of talking about Mezco and the company itself and some other stuff that I have, and just giving you my perspective based on what I've gone through with the figures. They just dropped the Mezco Batman animated series figure today. Yeah, I saw that. I haven't bought a Mezco. I'm really trying to rack my brain the last time I bought one. And there's my Great Pyrenees just chatting away downstairs. I'm trying to think the last time I bought a Mezco. It might be it's either, I think it might be Captain Ahab. It's either Captain Ahab or I'm looking what I've brought in here. I think it's Captain Ahab. I'm trying to think though. No, it's Superman. It's that Superman that came out about 2 years ago, I think. Which I do have him right here. But I'm gonna try and talk about some of these figures individually. Give my thoughts and comments and criticisms about them. And then I figured since I've had some of these figures in storage, all the way from the very first Mezco ever released, which was the Dark Knight Returns, which I actually have shot that review a long time ago, I think around when it came out, all the way to the last release that I picked up. I recently did pre-order a Mezco figure, and it should be dropping this month. Which, like I said, I haven't bought anything Mezco in about 2 years since that Superman came out. But anyway, I digress. Let's get into it. You've heard enough of my silly voice. I'm not going in any specific order. I'm just kind of grabbing a figure and then talking about it. So we'll talk about this one first, which this is and let me adjust my camera so we can get a better look at the figures here, and they're not looking all goofballish. But yeah, oh god, I swear, this, spoiler alert, this friggin' Wonder Woman just gives me nothing but problems all the time. We'll get to her in a minute, but I'll talk about her in a minute. But anyway, here is the Ascending Knight Batman. Now, this was I believe, the PX exclusive version in gray and blue. I have the regular version, which I'm going to talk about thoroughly, but I thought I would touch on this guy first just because I feel like maybe not a lot of people have this version. Maybe this wasn't like the version to go after and get. Most people probably just want the more accurate first appearance look, where this was kind of like a very niche look. But I really do like the suit design. I This is one of my favorite Batman head sculpts. I think like ever. It's really really good. I just love that kind of very first appearance Batman cowl. I think that's probably my favorite cowl of Batman ever. I am also um, more so leaning in towards as far as personal preference. I like long ears on Batman. I don't like short ears that much, really, unless it really fits the theme. So that's just a personal preference thing. I wanted that one, but I missed it. Like the blue, yeah. I mean, you can still get the Ascending Knight Batman for pretty decent, like around $100 or less. If you look hard enough, you can find him. I feel like he's the one Batman, if that's the one that you want. He's definitely the easier one to get. But I have had this one and the Ascending Knight for a very long time, and I got to say that they've held up pretty solid for the most part, and they do still pose pretty well. Where a lot of these figures, like I said, and this is probably going to be an ongoing theme, is to, you know, with Mezco and kind of why I got out of the Mezco game. Like, I was, there was a time where I was like really, really into them. And then, I don't know. I think it's the fact that the cloth goods over time kind of wearing and then tearing, and then essentially it's kind of like what kind of figure do you have left after everything kind of falls apart. But for the most part, I mean, I try to take really good care of my figures, but that is always sticking in the back of my head, like, oh, these figures kind of have a due date, and every figure kind of does. But I feel like these would be going a lot sooner than your regular run of the mill um, all plastic figure. Excuse me, I can't talk today. Sorry, it's been a long day. I've been up since 5 in the morning, so bear with me here. But yeah, I actually do like this blue and gray version of the kind of first appearance Batman. I don't mind it. A lot of people don't like this version. And he's probably also another one of the versions that are probably a lot cheaper as far as all the Batman figures that they have released in that kind of Mezco stylization, where they kind of gave him their own take on the first appearance. But this is pretty nice. I really don't have too many issues with it. He poses nice. The cowl looks great. The head sculpts that he came with, I think he came with an unmasked head too. I'm not going to get into everything. This isn't really a review. It's just a retrospective, kind of just touching on my thoughts on Mezco figures and such. But I think they did a pretty good job with kind of updating and modernizing specific aspects to, your first appearance, for the Ascending Knight, and then the Sovereign Knight, which is kind of like the peak Batman, and then going all the way into the kind of older Batman, which would be I think there was the Ascending Knight. I can't remember the name of all of them. But anyway, the older Batman, which we're going to get to as well. Um, Really nice cape. Like I said, the capes always were really fun. Some of them came with wired capes, excuse me, and some of them came with cloth goods capes. And the material on the inside is definitely a different feel to the material on the outside, where this is like more of like a faux leather, and then on the inside it's more of like a stitched. So it's pretty cool. The only thing that I guess I could really criticize is that it feels like, however they cut the capes, there's like fraying going on here. Sovereign Knight Ascending Knight, and I'm trying to think offhand. Let me see if I can. My iPad is not dead, which yeah, it's toast. My iPad is dead, so I can't look it up. But I'm sure you guys can look it up. There's the three different versions of Batman, and the older Batman was called something I can't remember, but anyway, but yeah, the cape itself, like I said, the kind of like the way they cut it's like you know got like pitted and frayed a little bit. Now that might be just due to over time, but I take pretty good care of my figures. Like there's not really any wear and tear on him. I also with Mezco, I don't overly pose them and play with them too much just because I feel like they're more of a true collector piece as opposed to just like a fun action figure. Like they're still fun to collect and stuff like that, but like I said, with that wear and tear, I mean, the more and more and more you play with these, the more and more you have to really consider that they're going to start deteriorating over time. So, I mean, and that's just a flat fact. I mean, this we're talking about cloth goods over plastic. It's just going to happen. So there is that to point out. But there is the PX exclusive Ascending Knights. So there's the first one I'll talk about. Now, the second one, like I said, I'm not really going in any particular order. And I guess I can just go with the same theme here. I won't touch on it too long because you just essentially saw it. But this is like one of my favorite action figures in my collection is this regular version of the Ascending Knight Batman. It really, and I gave him custom trunks just because I felt like that was a lot more accurate. I don't remember where I got the trunks, to be honest with you. I think I got them off an eBay seller. I'm sure you guys can find it on eBay. Just do an eBay search and search Mezco Batman trunks, custom trunks, or whatever, and it'll pop up. The cape on this still kind of doing a little bit of what the PX exclusive did. I think it's just the way it was trimmed on the edge. It would have been nice if this was kind of stitched just so it didn't do that. There's certain things about Mezcos where they do come off premium looking, and then there's other times where it's like it feels a little bit cheap. I'm not gonna lie. But back then, I think these figures, especially with like the Ascending Knight, all three Batmans that they kind of came out with, they were a lot cheaper than what they are now. At least $100, $90 to $100 or more, depending on what kind of figure you're getting. But I remember, what was it? The first Dark Knight Returns Mezco that came out. It was I think it was around 40 or $50, 45. And then it just shot way up right after that. So, but this is really cool. I like I said, this is like one of my favorite figures in my collection. And that's kind of saying a lot, I like to think. But yeah, I have a lot of fun with this figure, just whether it's aesthetics, whether it's just, playing with the figure. This is probably the one that I play with the most and I have the most fun with. Not gonna lie here. And he wasn't even one of my first, like I said, but I guess we can get to the first one that I ever bought. But we'll leave him in the background just because I enjoy him so much. He's a lot of fun. Let's get to the first one, and I actually have to open him because he has been in storage for a very long time. Like I said, this was the first Mezco figure ever released. There were variants to it, I think like 3 or 4 variants. And this is the Dark Knight Returns one. And like I said, I have not opened him in quite some time. Probably since I've moved here. Some of these have been out in my display, and then others have been stored in my collection area room. But he looks to be in pretty good shape. I'm taking him out now, and he looks to be in really, really good shape for the most part. I'm going to inspect him while we're kind of talking about him. But here is the Dark Knight Returns first Mezco release. He did come with a big grapple claw, a pistol, a boot with a holster for said pistol. He came with, what was it, 8 hands total, an extra head as well. And they really went for that look from the comic. Like, here's the extra head, and it gives off that kind of Frank Miller aesthetic. That look. I never really liked this cowl. It's probably my least favorite cowl. But he came with, like I said, extra hands, and hands that came with like what you call it, holding batarangs and such. He came with 2 hands like that, and then 2 open hands, and then a pistol gripping hand, and kind of like an open gripping hand, and a display stand. I think this is before, oh no, it came with a flight stand as well. And then also a wired cape hold. Well, it's because the cape is just a cloth goods, but it came with this like big wired holder for the cape, so you could spread it out and it would hold it in place. I've never actually used it. I'm going to be honest with you. I have never seen the need to use a big apparatus to hold open a cape. I guess if you're trying to get that open cape look, this is before they were doing wired capes, you could go for that if you wanted to, but that is an option. Those are the things that they came with. Wired octopus, yeah, pretty much. That's essentially what it seemed like it came with. But you could definitely tell like the skin tone is like this very pale white. The lips were kind of like almost like a blue outline to them to give off that original artwork. The body is a very early Mezco body, so you really can see how like kind of almost blocky his anatomy is. And this is I don't know how like sought after this guy is. I haven't really like looked it up or anything like that, but he has, like I said, he's been in storage, been in his box for a very long time now. But like I said, I feel like there's kind of like a due date with him. He's got double jointed elbows technically, but because the gauntlets are so deep and thick, you really only are getting a single joint out of this. You're not getting too much, but the range of motion is still pretty solid on him. Like it's not as egregious as some other figures that are out there. So, but yeah, this is definitely a older figure and of an older, Batman. We'll just do like a fighting stance here. And even the head articulation and range of motion isn't all that great. This is definitely early Mezco. Like he can look up and look down a little bit. He can kind of not really tilt side to side. It's kind of just a swivel. So it's not the best right there comparing to some other Mezcos, comparing to like Ascending Knight and even some later releases, which got even better and better as far as range of motion, articulation, stuff like that. So he's definitely bulky. They've never really been good with ankle pivots on their figures. He even has pins in the boots. Like, I don't think we even saw pins in anything after this mold. So that just goes to show you how dated the mold is. It's just very old. I think they might have used, maybe they used the same body on Flash, which I'm shocked that we never got a re-release of Flash, which that would be nice to finish off the Justice League. But I'm pretty sure they used this body on Flash and maybe that first Superman release that they did, because he's definitely on a like this type of like weird shoulder sticking out body. I passed on the first Superman. I always told myself that like, oh, they're gonna make another one, so I'll hold out. That Superman went for way too much money anyway. But you can see the stitching lines going up here. Like I said, this is kind of like early Mezco 1/12 collective figures. Cape is held up very well. Don't have too many issues there. But like I said, yet again, mileage will vary depending on how well you take care of your figures and how much you touch them. Because even the oils on our skins will help degrade or deteriorate a lot of the cloth goods. It just happens. It's just wear and tear, part of that process. So this was the first Mezco I had, and I want to say he was one of the only Mezcos I had for a very long time. It wasn't until Strident actually told me about the 3 different stages of Batman that they were going to be that they were releasing that I started getting back into Mezco. I think the only other one, which I'm going to bring in next, that I got before that Batman, and it's only because of the importance of the character, is Shazam slash Captain Marvel. So I got this. This is, I think, my second release, and I was really pleased with it. He came with an extra head, a lightning bolt effect that would actually go over the chest, so it looked like he was saying Shazam. I think he came with like a screaming head. Um, he came with a couple other accessories, accoutrement, different hands, open gripping hands, and stuff like that. So, but this was actually a really well done figure for the time. I would love an update for him. He's only had this one release, and I know this figure's pretty sought after. Not only is it his more of his classic look, but also it's his only release from Mezco. So I would love, like, even if they did just like a movie figure of him, which I'm kind of shocked. They do movie figures. They do movie figures. The cape is wired all the way around. So all the way around, and even this little kind of like collared piece is also wired. So that was really kind of like a step up. The body is different, a different anatomy from The Dark Knight Returns. So they kind of upgraded the body a little bit. They started upgrading the bodies a little bit more and more over time. But this was actually a really nice release. I love this head. It looks just, it really encapsulates, the character and why he is one of my all-time favorite characters, like top tier favorite character. My Shazam has a little red bleed from this suit, unfortunately. Oh yeah, definitely. That'll definitely happen with like I said, with all of these, it's gonna happen. If you take this suit off, there's going to be a little bit of red bleeding, probably. Oh, on the white cape. Yeah, I don't have that issue, which is weird. I wonder if, I don't know. Yeah, I don't have any of that. Mine's pretty bright white. I wonder if maybe that was like a QC problem or something, or did it just happen over time, Woodman? But like some of them I've seen, like even fellow content creators are like, they'll get a Mezco and sometimes the bat symbol's messed up or something like that. So mine are around the neck. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, I don't have that issue either. I don't know. That's weird. That is weird. That is wild. He almost looks like a talk show host, you know? you know? Good old Billy. Good old Billy. Billy? Yes. Billy? Yes. Okay, I'm done with that. But I really like the sculpt of the boots. This really does give off that really early classic 40s look of Captain Marvel slash Shazam. Well, people just call him Shazam now, but looks really good. Like I said, I would love an update for this figure. A dating game host? Absolutely. Or like I Dream of Genie or something like that. I feel like he would be in like one of those like 50s sitcoms, you know. All right, so there's Shazam. You know what? We'll leave him in the background too because he's one of my favorite guys. I'm trying to think canonically what figure I got next, and it might have been Ascending Knight. I guess I need to just stick to my guns and go with nothing really. You know what? We'll bring in this Big Mama Jamma. He was one of the last ones that I actually picked up, and that was Darkseid. And he went on sale. Let me back up my camera a little bit. He went on sale. I want to say a few years ago, and he was like, I think he was like under $100, and what you call it? I think he was around $90 because he's originally like 180. And then there's some websites even now they're selling them, trying to get rid of them for like 150, 160. I'll be honest with you. I don't necessarily think that he's really worth 180 at all. I don't really think he's worth 150, 160. Now he is made different. Like there are, like the shoulder pads here are actually made of a die cast metal. I can feel the cold from the die cast metal. There's other pieces like his helmet that is actually made from a die cast metal. Supreme Knight, thank you, Woodman. I appreciate that, bud. Yeah, that's the older Batman, the oldest one. We'll get to Supreme Knight, but thank you for looking that up. I appreciate that, bud. He has single jointed elbows that I mean really don't do much. This is all they do. I know Darkseid, you don't really need him to do too much, but he's also kind of loosey goosey in the knees because of the way he is built. He's actually built with like composite stone, or there's a specific type stone that he's made, kind of his arms are made out of, and his legs, there's a lot of die cast with him, which can be really cool when you think about it. But I have other die cast figures that have kind of absolutely positively fallen apart or gotten so loose to the point where they can't stand. Now, I haven't had that issue with him standing, just because, like, you really, honestly, even if his ankles had gotten so loose that he started kind of leaning forward, he would still stand. It's because he's so limited in articulation and range of motion that you can't do too much with him. Not that you really need to. It's not like Darkseid is Spider-Man or anything like that. He kind of just stands around and looks menacing and shoots his Omega sanction beams at people, and that's essentially it. Now he does have also a light up feature in the eyes, which I don't think I even put batteries in it because I just don't know what it is about certain battery features when it comes to figures. Like I worry about the corrosion of them, and then it just causes more problems down the road. So I don't even think I put the light up feature in his head. I guess I could check if I wanted to. Oh, are they in there? I don't think they are. No, because that's just the magnet holding in there. I'd have to unscrew that. But I don't think I ever put I don't think I ever put them in. And you also kind of have to like really get his head lined up properly to get that back lined up. It's like his chin's got to get in there. There we go. Now he's in. But it does lock in place really well. And for the most part, like I said, the knees are kind of loose a little bit. His head kind of sits up a little bit high like a giraffe a little bit. He does want to lean forward a lot. He's definitely not the most fun. I would probably put him on the lower tier as far as like if I was ranking these figures. I just think that there's better Darkseid figures out there. He has a lot of cool features and stuff like that. He comes with that wonderful cape, which is big and durable and definitely feels like it's made out of like freaking Carhartt material. And like the die cast is a cool, fun feature, but he's just not that fun of a figure. He's very limited. He's got cool sounding elements to him, but he's just gonna stand there. I'm not gonna lie. He's just gonna kind of stand there and look menacing. And like here, I'll do a quick comparison with the Mcfarlane one, which I think is superior in a lot of ways. Um, and he comes with, and he's bigger, obviously. He is bigger. He comes with multiple heads, no light up feature, which is unnecessary. And he is definitely a different take on Darkseid. He's more of that classic look from Mcfarlane, as opposed to this is kind of like Mezco's own take on Darkseid. And he is larger, which Darkseid should be larger. But I think this is superior in a lot of ways. Does come with a wired cape. He does not. But I mean, if you're looking for a Darkseid, I would save yourself a lot of money. I would just spend the 40 to $50 on the Mcfarlane one and get that one. Still a cool figure, not worth the price. If he was $100, I would say sure, yeah, go for it. He's got different materials to him, stuff like that. Even though he's limited, I'm not seeing where the money's being spent to warrant the price that he is being sold for. So that's just my opinion. I'll move on from Darkseid now. Like I said, I don't want to rant too long on these, but I just kind of wanted to give my thoughts and opinions after years and years of kind of owning these. Next, we'll kind of switch gears and I'll talk about some villains that I own. There's actually one villain in Two-Face that I have. I had every intention on opening him, and if I find him in my storage unit, I will definitely pluck him out. But here's Harley. It's more of the classic look. There's, I think, a couple different versions of her. There's this version. There's like more of the punk rock looking version. And that's kind of what I went for with Joker. I never got the regular, more traditional looking Joker. This was at one point around, you could get him for around $40, and that's pretty much what I picked him up for. That's the only reason I have this Joker. I wasn't really that big of a fan of this kind of edgelord looking punky modern Joker, but it grew on me. It really did. You know, I think it looks pretty cool. It's definitely more modern. I'm not going to beat that to death with saying that, but I mean, you can see he's got the friggin', like he went shopping at Hot Topic here with the belt. And then, you know, he's just very much more of a younger looking Joker, which is fine. I'm not beating that up, but it wouldn't be the Joker that I would pick. I kind of like that more timeless look. More of that Batman 89 aesthetic for Joker, where he's got the fedora and the trench coat, and he's got really more of the 40s 50s feel, that timeless aesthetic, as opposed to you're really kind of timelining this guy. So especially with his weaponry and stuff like that, but I think it looks pretty cool. I like the specific cane holding hand for him. I think that looks really nice. The two daggers that he's got here on his belt looks pretty cool. The boots fit the aesthetic of that kind of like punk rock feel. It just makes sense for that. The Doc Martens. And I don't know. It's definitely grown on me. The fingerless gloves, the Freddie Mercury looking fingerless gloves. I don't, like I said, I would love to have the traditional looking one. Oops, sorry, Harley. But our little cork came out too. Which this is actually made of cork. her cork, which is pretty cool. How quirky of her, right? But she comes with her mallet. I always like this look for Harley Quinn. I'm not a big Harley Quinn person. I actually can't stand the character, and I think she's way blown out of proportion as far as what she can do and how she can. Whoa, I think she's like a low level character. I don't think she's. I think her popularity has made her far more efficient going against characters that would just wipe the floor with her. It's all due to her popularity. It's not due to actual like solid character development with her. I don't know. To me, she's just been kind of like the sidekick character. And I know there's evolution in characters and stuff like that, and maybe I'm dumbing that down, but I've just never seen her as a big threat or a threat enough to, when you're facing someone even like Batman would wipe the floor with Harley Quinn. It wouldn't even be a 5-minute fight. Like it would be like almost like a Guy Gardner one punch, But that's just me. That's what I think, If she was going up against Catwoman, she'd probably wipe the floor with her. That's the thing. And then like putting her up against like more powerful characters, like you want to put her up against Superman, like it wouldn't last 30 seconds. So I don't know. People blow her out of proportion. I just dig the aesthetic. I like this, the kind of like first appearance look for her. It's really good. The head sculpt looks really, really good as a figure. The silly like cork gun and the big old mallet, like it works. It really does work for the figure. And this was like another one of those figures that really didn't go for that much, like these two figures. I think I spent like $85 total for both of them at the time. They just weren't selling. So I don't know. That's Joker. And I'm not really that high on Joker's character either. I think he's overrated as hell. But that's just me. All right. So moving on, we'll stick within, kind of that villain type theme, and we'll go with Catwoman. Although I don't really see Catwoman as all that much of a villain, really. She's more of an anti-hero. But I really actually like this Catwoman quite a bit. She's kind of got that same body that's being used for Harley. But I love the boots. They look like I don't know. They look very almost Crow-esque. Like this would be a design on the Crow with all the buckles and straps and stuff like that for the boots. And then, on the bottom, she's got these kind of like, I don't know, like almost like ninja shoes where she would be really quiet, stealthing around. I'm glad they didn't give her heels. While aesthetically heels look really cool on Catwoman, I feel like if she's a thief, she wouldn't be clunking around in heels. Like it just doesn't, like you're not going to be effective as a thief trying to be quiet with heels on. I get why so many people design her like that, but for me, it doesn't really make sense. So these make perfect sense. And they almost look like, I don't know, quiet shoes, if I can make up a term. The whip is really well done. I like the length of the whip, too. She's got this cool little backpack. Looks great. And there was also a purple version of her, which also, if you're looking for a Catwoman, doesn't really go for much. I think even this all black version goes for around $100. And that's not bad for how old this figure is. She's definitely not a newer figure. So if you're looking to get a Catwoman, you could track down the purple one, which I think the purple one looks really good too. And then she's got like a little pouch right here to kind of, I don't know, if she's stealing something, she could pop the rings or whatever she's stealing, SIM card or something like that, right in there or in on her backpack. And she does look like form meets function. Like she looks like she's tactical enough. She can do what she needs. She's got storage on her back and on her hip. The whip looks really good. You could even, I mean, hell, you could even wind up this whip and pretend that it would be stored in her backpack. I think that works. But she's really good. I love the head sculpt. Head sculpt looks really, really nice. So no issues there either. And she came with like open hands and a bunch of other stuff. So, but pretty cool figure. There's Catwoman. We'll leave her out for a second. And then, like I said, I'm just going to start grabbing and we'll just keep talking about it. I think that might be it as far as the villains go. That I'm trying to see if I have any other villain. Like I said, I do have Two-Face, the single version. I don't have that 2-pack version where it's more of like the Silver Age Superman or Batman and Two-Face. I have the red and black version. Next up, we'll switch gears and move into the Marvel area. I don't have too many Marvel figures from Mezco. I think I only have 2. That's it. And this one was actually an earlier one that I got. And I actually have to open him up. Now, he was also a very, very sought after Mezco figure, especially at the time. He's had a bootleg release. He's had, I want to say, 3 different releases. But I gotta say that this is probably the version that I liked the most, even over the classic looking one. And this is an older figure too. This is not like one of those newer ones. You can tell he's on that older body. But this was that old Punisher from way, way, way back. And he came with 3 different heads total. He came with an assault rifle. He came with a grenade launcher, an MP, kind of like a customized Kimber of some sort, 45. Came with a knife, a pistol shooting effect, some, I think they're like grenades or something like that. But he also came with 8 different hands, including the ones that you see with him on his person right now. Let me just put down the box. And this is, like I said, another one that's kind of been in storage. I just didn't really have any thematics place to put him. But yeah, this is definitely one of those older ones. Head sculpt looks perfect for like that very Italian looking Frank Castle. So it looks really, really good. And the chest armor looks really good. Even has bullet holes and such. And like I said, for the time, this was very sought after. He's, like I said, had multiple different bootlegs. Version of this. He's got the knife sheath on the back, which I think makes sense tactically. He's got the really nice looking sculpted boots, combat boots. He's got knuckle dusters. Sorry, I had a big yawn there. Knuckle dusters right here. Looks really good. And I want to say that at the time, just before this came out, there was a Sideshow Collectibles figure, which I actually own. And the head sculpts are like damn near almost the same. It's like they pretty much took the head sculpt from the Sideshow Collectibles figure, because it wasn't technically a hot toy, and kind of applied it here. And I think it looks really good. They did a really good job on this head. And there's like a really beat up looking version and a screaming head that he came with too. So he's one of be one of those. This is also another good reason why I kind of was like searching for the rest of my Mezcos through my storage stuff. And I was like, you know what? I need to display these figures. They're too good. They're going to go in a sealed glass case, and hopefully that'll help with longevity's sake, with keeping dust and grime and such off of them. So But yeah, there is Mr. Frank Castle. Like I said, I don't have too many of these Marvel um, Mezcos. I don't even have a Captain America. Can you believe that? All right, so let me get Mr. Frank out of here. If you guys have any questions about the figures while I'm kind of showcasing them, let me know. And I can, if you need to see something closer, I can show you that. If you want to see Frank's beat up face, I guess I'll show that. There's his beat up head. Let me get his head in there. Oof. Look at that shiner. Holy Toledo. He's been through some stuff. Been tortured a little bit. Who knows? But there you go. With that. And these little, like, oh, that's what those are. They're the grenades for the grenade launcher. That's what those are. And also, all the magazines on everything, including the pistol, are removable. And I think he comes with multiple magazines. So, cool stuff. He's a good one. Like I said, I think I've seen in hand the knockoff. And I think the knockoff isn't even that bad. Oh my god, I think this is Oreo hair in here. That's how long it's been. Been like 5 years since I've opened this guy. So I'm going to find a spot for him, and that's where he'll be. The packaging was really cool too. It came with the nice, you know, Punisher logo with the slip cover in the front and all that fun stuff. There it is, right there. And then it showed the figure on the back and all that fun jazz. There you go. With that. And then the other one, which oh my god, I don't even think I've opened this figure. I might have, but I might not have, which is kind of blasphemous. Yeah, I think this is brand new. Look at this. I've never opened. This is Blade. You're probably gonna be like, how have you not opened it? So I had every intention on opening this, and I actually bought it before I moved. And then it's just been a lot on my mind since, I guess. So we're gonna open them right now for the first time ever. Look, I even still have the Mezco paraphernalia, figure sword sheath, clips onto back, a magnet. Is it like the PSAs letting you know, hey, this clips to the back with a magnet. And then I even have this one. It says, welcome to the 112th Collective designed by collectors for collectors. Little PSA. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I have not been able to, I guess, you know, I'll be honest with you, sometimes you forget about stuff. It just happens. So we're gonna. Am I doing this right? I just don't want this stuff, because sometimes when you open up a Mezco, like, stuff goes flying, and I really don't want that to happen. And oh god, see, that's what I'm talking about. Just knocking stuff over. There's now a shuriken went flying. And this guy is brand new. Well, brand new, you know, when he came out like 5-6 years ago. But yeah, like I said, I bought him before I moved. I had every intention on doing his review, I think, before I moved, and it just never happened. I think my only criticisms about this figure before, or when I first saw it, was like in a review and such, was he didn't come with his damn chest armor, and you had to like find a customizer to get his proper. And I get it, like, it's not, you know, his chest armor is technically movie accurate, but and his belt is just not wanting to cooperate right now. It's making him look like he's got high pants on, but There's Mr. Blade. And what's funny is that, like, there's aesthetics, like his sword, right? His sword looks very movie accurate. Right? Like, that looks movie accurate with the little, like, spindly thing that would open up and then, you know, the blades would come out of the hilt. And then you've got the sheath here, which, like Mezco said, is, I guess, supposed to magnetize to his back, but that's not. I should probably read the damn thing, right? Maybe it comes with it. Figure sword sheath clips onto a magnetic clip that holds onto the figure's back with a magnet. Okay, it can be worn on top of the coat or without the coat. Okay. All right, well, I guess we'll have to figure that out some other time, but I think the coat is probably going to be underneath all this stuff. Well, I'll get the extra head out, and we can take a look at that extra head. He comes with a shit ton of hands. Holy Moses. And, like, these, these are, oh my God, does he have how many? Holy cow, dude's got, like, 1, 2, 5, 4 different sunglasses? Holy cow, that is so cool. He's got so many different sunglasses. Let's get some sunglasses on this man. Look at that. Oh, that looks good. I would be deathly afraid of losing these damn glasses because they are like a thinner plastic too. But they really do grip onto those ears, man. Look at that. That's so natural looking. It's like you almost think that's the head sculpt, you know? How nice of a fit that is. Look at that. That is really, really cool. I really quite like that. And then here's the magnetic clip that they were talking about. There's a little, whoa. There's the magnet. And then there's the clip part. And that comes right, sitting in the package right next to the sheath. And then let's get this extra head out. It's like a screaming head. If I can get it out. Come on, Billy. Oh, that looks crazy good. All right, let me get these glasses off his head. Yeah, he comes with like 4 pairs of glasses. I'm trying to see if they're any different. I think they might just be the same in case you lose them. Maybe Mezco was like, oh God, these people are going to lose these sunglasses. All right, let's get this head off. The neutral head. And we'll put the angry head on. Oh yeah, that looks good. Look at that. That is crazy good. That is some jaw extension right there. That looks so good. And here's the back of the head. And he's even got the tattoo. I'm not sure if that's 100% screen accurate, but, you know, we'll go with it. But I'm going to go with that neutral head. I don't know. There's just something. Oh, man, that looks so good. Love it. You gotta love it. So that's cool. I kind of maybe wish he had like a smirking face a little bit. You know, that would have been really nice. But like I said, the other stuff that he comes with is very screen accurate too. So it's like he's kind of comic book accurate, and then he's kind of like screen accurate. Like these are definitely from the first Blade. And then it's like you even got the stakes that look like screen accurate from the first one. Like look at that little stake. Very cool. He comes with 6 of these. And he comes with like an effect, like a shooting effect. And then here's the Same bullet effect that you came with the Punisher, with the little bullet sculpted in there and then painted. And there's got to be more accessories underneath it. I'm assuming that there's another. Yeah, there's got to be another tray. And I am deathly afraid of like opening. I am asking for trouble. Opening up this secondary tray because stuff is just going to go shooting out into the ether. But he comes with a display stand, flight stand. Here's the coat. Let's get his coat on. We'll do that. This is like a impromptu unboxing slash review, I guess. I told myself I wasn't going to do this, and then, you know, here I am doing it. All right, we'll put the top back on before stuff goes flying up into the air, and I lose, like, all the small pieces. Let me check this secondary tray. Because he comes with, like, bullet effects, but I didn't see any guns, so I'm going to assume it's in this second tray underneath. And it is really just stuck on. Oh, yeah. Oh, we got more. Oh, yeah. So we got a shotgun, which looks kind of like from Blade 1. And then we've got like a submachine gun. So we'll get to that in a second. Let me get his friggin' coat on here. So we got the coat. There we go. Let's do a little snippage. Some snips. There we go. That down. Let's see what this coat looks like. Ooh, it's got a zipper on it. Got like a little zipper on there. We're undressing our figures now. Let me get this. Let me just not struggle and do this off camera. Oh, that is a heavy duty zipper there. Oh, so good. I just love like the little take hands off. It's easier to put the coat on. Oh yeah, definitely. Most def. Most def. Do you have this figure, Woodman? Just want to get this friggin' belt over the pants. They just will not comply. And he's got like stuff on his holster to hold stuff on. There we go. I love the red on the inside of the coat. Oh yeah, you do? Yeah, he's great looking. I would love to get eventually one of those custom vests for him. I feel like that's really the finishing product right there. And I'm shocked like Mezco didn't even think to like offer it up as like I don't know, like a separate pack or something. They do all those other packs for like the Rumble Society and stuff like that, but they didn't even think to do Blade. Like they could have sold out of those immediately if they would have came out with them. Oh yeah, this is kind of like a very thin, skinny, tight fit for the arms. It's very, very tight. I don't know if I like the feel of this material. I don't like that. Ugh. It's like one of those materials like that fake like pleather. Like Darkseid had that like pleather kind of material. No, he didn't. The cape on him, but this feels more durable than this. This feels like it's gonna flake and fall apart over time. It's definitely a cheaper material for the coat. Doesn't feel like very premium. I'm trying to get his collar up so it doesn't look like a doofus when I get this friggin' arm on here. But I could definitely see these arms being bent and that causing cracking here. Although it is stitched, so maybe that'll stop the crack. I don't know. At this point, I'm just guessing. But These are, like I said, these are things I worry about with Mezco. Let me fix his coat, because this just driving me nuts now. Get your coat on there, Mr. Blade. It would have been a cool thing. Yeah, I don't move mine much because of the coat. Yeah, but I feel like you gotta have the coat on, you know? Like, it just... You gotta have the coat on. And I'm going to put his glasses back on, too. But this is really quite nice. It looks good. Maybe I'll get him with some open hands, or like an open hands, like he's like holding on to his collar or something like that. But this looks really nice. That look good. That look good. We'll kind of gear him out here. Or gear him up, not out. Get the... Oh, good. They didn't tape the plastic together. Oh, God. Please don't go flying. Please don't go flying. There's like a little tiny magazine. Oh, God. It's wanting to pop up in the air. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right. I kind of think I like him with the shotgun. And this shotgun looks pretty cool, man. Look at that. That is really dope. I like it. That's nice. And it comes with this sling, which looks really cool. And then here's the submachine gun. It's very futuristic looking, which I kind of wish they would have included his like futuristic looking Uzi pistol. But this looks pretty cool too. I like that. That's nice. So, and he does come with an extra mag, so you don't have to worry about that. You know what? We're gonna have him dual wielding. I know you can't really dual wield with a pump action, but we'll just have it on him for aesthetics. And then you gotta have his sword on. You have to, you know? And you gotta get the glasses on. And you gotta have the stakes in. So we'll switch his hands up if I can get this plastic off again. Alright. There we go with that. And don't worry, we're still gonna get to a whole bunch of other figures. Get his glasses on here. There we go. Oh yeah, this is hitting that itch. It's hitting that itch, man. And then we'll get his fist off here. And there's Dusty saying hello. I don't know if you heard that. I don't know. Maybe it's not that bad without the vest. Maybe it's not that bad. I mean, not that it would have been bad anyway, but oh wow, his fingers are really rubbery. That's weird. He does not have like... That is weird. I don't think I've ever seen that kind of like rubbery type fingers. It almost feels like a friggin' wetsuit. That is strange. I don't think any other Mezco figure has had hands like that, have they? Oh, maybe a little bit, but he's definitely more rubbery than normal. And then trying to figure out where the clip would go here for the jacket. I guess we can figure it out after. We'll leave him like that, and then we'll get this. I guess it just fixes onto his back. We get the sword in there first, or the sheath, not the sword. I'm assuming it kind of clips right there where the groove is. So there's like a little groove. You can see it right there on the sheath. And I think you want to fit that on the groove. I think the other released blade and the armor vest. I don't think I thought he only had one release. Because I don't remember. Maybe he had another release. I could be wrong, and you're probably right. But I don't remember him having more than one release. I'm trying to get this to sit right. Maybe I have it on upside down. I'm trying. This is me trying to figure things out as I'm doing it. We'll try it like that and see what happens. Now let's get the sword in there. There we go, and that just slid right in. There we go, beautiful. And then it's got a magnet, so oh yeah, it just sits there. Okay, that'll work. And there you go. There's blade. There's blade, and you can, like I said, here I'll put the. Look at the friggin'. Well, that doesn't really want to go on his arm. Okay. All right. Well, we'll say goodbye to the shotgun for now. But I'm pretty sure this is the... Oh, and it does have the pump action. That's pretty damn cool. No, there was two. I'm pretty sure. I think it was an MDX exclusive or something like that. Oh, okay. I'm not going to fight you on it. You're probably right, and I probably just wasn't paying attention. You know? But yeah. That's pretty cool that they did release it then. All right, we'll put that in there. You know what we'll do for the other hand? We'll get this other hand out. And we'll do... Oh, we got to put these in there. Can't have him without stakes on his leg. That wouldn't be right. There we go. There's 1, 2, and 3. And then this one. Whee! There's 2. And it's nice that they give you extra too, in case you lose some. So no big whoop there. But this is actually really, I think I like this without it, the vest too. I mean, I would love to have the vest, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's a deal breaker whatsoever. I think he looks great. Oh, wait, we got to do the other hand. You know what? For the other hand, I think I'm going to do this. Right, let's see if that'll work. That might be 2. Yeah, that's 2. Oh, that looks ridiculous like that too. Although this makes me want to go watch Blade now. He's got this like open gripping thumb up hand right there. And I'm assuming this is probably for the sword. That's what I would like to assume. But he does have another gripping hand here. And I think I'm going to fit. And again, I think it does make a lot of sense that his hands are more malleable than like normal hands. Because, I mean, my God, that was just so it's so nice, cohesive, and easy to fit that on. And I think that's what I'm going to do for this hand. That was my thought process here. So, I mean, it really makes sense then why they went with that material for the hand. So he can grip stuff easier. So you're not like it's not like the hardest thing to do to open up his hand. You know how some figures have like really like tough plastic? And you like try to like open up the hand, you know? All right, we'll get that back in there. We'll get his hand put away, his fist hand. He also has like a karate chopping hand or like a talk to the hand. 2 open gripping hands. Another left open gripping hand, another trigger hand, another gripping, smaller gripping hand like that one. I want to say another trigger. Like everything in here is for a purpose, so that is really cool. Love the shotgun also. It just looks so good. All right, we'll put all of that away. Lock everything up nice and tight so nothing can move around. We're not losing anything. Nothing's getting bent or anything like that. And then, yeah, there's your Improv 2 review, I guess. Mezco Blade. I was not expecting to do all that, but I guess I did it, you know? There you go. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll put the rest of the accessories away in the box so we don't lose anything. And yeah. Maybe one day I'll do like a full-blown review. I'm not sure what day that'll be, but I mean, if people request it enough, I'll do it. You know? But I seem to not get like a lot of feedback from people. Like I'll ask somebody a question, I'll be like, "Come on, guys, let me know what you want," and like if people are like, I don't really care, you know. Anyway, but there's Blade. There you go. Looks good. The magnet really holds on there nicely, so no issues there. Looks good. Very, very pleased with that. This looks great. I actually do like this. It's really growing on me. This it almost looks like a Scorpion Evo type, like submachine gun situation. Looks good though, man. Blade always was just an awesome looking character. Cool character overall. One of my favorite Marvel characters. He's just so good. Really dropped the ball with that Blade movie, just kind of chilling in limbo. Like, how do you goof on a Blade movie? I just don't like. They even cast the right actor to play Blade, the more updated Blade, and then they bring Wesley Snipes back to play Blade in Wolverine Deadpool, and I'm like, I mean, dude got the biggest reaction in the movie, and like, Jesus, just more drop balls for this character that's actually a character that you can do a lot with. And I just remembered that oh my God, I just put all that stuff away. Now I'll do it after the. Anyway, so there's Blade. We'll put him aside now. And then we'll move on to. So those are my two Marvel figures. We'll switch gears again, and we're going outside of Marvel and outside of DC, really, to a figure which I think is a little weird. This is another figure that's been kind of in storage, and I picked him up dirt cheap too. His motorcycle went up for kind of dirt cheap too, and that's Judge Dredd. Got him a very long time ago. And if you can see, he's kind of got this like weird like shit all over him. And now he's been in storage, like I said. Just like the others, but I feel like he's starting to get that decay of his suit. Like there's this like white film and shit on there. Oof. And then, oh, there goes the knife, as it does. Yeah, it's like this like weird white stuff all over him, and I can see some like ripping and pitting. It feels like a rubber suit he's got on. Oh yeah, this is definitely not gonna be good in about a year from now. If he's just kind of sitting hanging out. Yeah, you can almost, I don't know if you can see it, but you can see there's like definitely some harsh aging going on here. Oh, that's such a shame because I really like the aesthetic of this figure. He's got some weird stuff going on though, like the head sculpt looks so fantastic. It looks so good, right? But like once and not that you would take this off, but like it's got this horrible magnet just chilling on the shoulder, which looks weird. There's a ton of stressing going on with the top of the shoulder, if you guys can see that. Even on the back here, and I think a lot of it has to do with this magnet kind of stressing and pushing out. And you can see there's like flaking all over my finger. It's definitely like his suit is starting to just fall apart. Oh, that sucks. That really sucks. Yeah, it's definitely starting to flake. Like what this is my problem is that like when this starts happening, like like what do you do with the figure now? Like that it's just begun with this guy. But this is the first one to start doing it. You know? Like how much longer do you have on the shelf? And like I said, he's been in storage. Like I said, and it's been a cool temperature, you know, at the most 69 degrees in my house. Like it's just not it's not good. Oh yeah, there's more flaking on my finger. I don't know if you guys see all this black shit on my fingers, but it's just like coming right off. So there's a pooper kind of. I think it's the material that they use for his suit. Would armor all help slow the deteriorating? I don't know, maybe. But it's like that's the thing. It's like everything is a question mark. You know, like if I put armor all on him, like would that make it worse? I don't know. It would definitely make him shinier. I know that. But it's a weird suit that he's wearing. It really does feel like a what can I compare it to? Like it feels like a cheap wetsuit. It's almost kind of like the Street Fighter SH Figuarts plastic, where it kind of like if you get any dust on it, it turns white, and then you have to like Q-tip it. Yeah, I don't know, man. Not good though. It's definitely the beginning stage. It's not as bad, but it's definitely the beginning stages of like there's going to be a rip on the ass. There's going to be a seam tear around the ass cheeks. Like all of this white shit that's accumulated. Not good. Not good stuff. Yeah. I mean, it's all good. Like, I mean, this is an older figure also, considering. Like, I've had him for quite a while, but I mean, just like, I love this big old bulky thing on his shoulder, his shoulder pad, the big eagle. And then this shoulder pad looks really good. It's all like shadowed and lined work is well done. Excuse me. The boots look fantastic. I mean, this almost has that feel of the Legendary Heroes Dread, which I do have that figure. And the head sculpt looks so good. Look at the head sculpt. Gorgeous. I don't know. Oh, it's unfortunate. And there was, I think, multiple different variations. I think there was a blue version. I'm not sure all the versions, but this was the first one that came out. So maybe I can acquire an aftermarket black jumpsuit to replace it. Yeah, I mean I could, but the other half of that battle is then I would have to figure out if the suit can stretch enough to keep, because I'm pretty sure that these magnets on the shoulders are either glued on or a part of the suit. And these only work off of magnets. This is why I'm not a big fan of magnets. because the magnet has to be incorporated to the figure, which then, you know, if it loses its polarity over time, which that is a thing, then you have to find a new magnet, and then like I have to fish this magnet out of here and hope I don't ruin this. And then, or I have to take this entire suit off, which might crack and rip and break more to get a new magnet in that suit. Like, it's just, oh, I feel like it's just extra work you're giving collectors putting magnets on stuff. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. So he's definitely not the best one. He was one of my favorites for a long time, but you know, there's Dread. I'm done bitching and moaning about it. I'm going to take a sip of water really quick because I am horribly dehydrated. And I'm going to hit my vape really quick. Because I need a wake me uppy. A wakey uppy. A yuppie. Okay. All right. So next we'll switch gears back to some DC stuff, and I'm going to kind of move along a little bit faster with this, not spend so much time. But the next one I kind of want to, while I'm kind of, I guess, a little bit bitching and moaning about stuff that I don't like, I want to talk about this Wonder Woman. She looks great. She's a lot of fun with certain aspects. Like the aesthetic of her looks great. I hate these damn shoulder armors. All they do is fall off all the time or fall on the... I might just take these off. These are driving me up a wall. They never want to stay up, ever. It's even like caused like this weird like divot in her arm. I don't know what's going on with that. But they constantly fall down. It's because they're like this rubbery plastic malleable crap material. I don't like it. I would rather these be either sculpted on her. I'd rather them be sculpted on her and malleable up here, which it's weird because it's malleable at the clip part, which you don't want it to be. And then it's like a harder plastic up here. It's like, you can't win, you know? The necklace piece is also removable. So if you don't like this, you could take that off too. I don't mind the necklace piece. I think that looks pretty cool. Like the choker and such. I think that looks good. But I actually almost think she looks better without the shoulder armor on. Her ankles really are just not good. Her feet are real narrow. And they're like angled because she's got these like, I don't know why they give Wonder Woman heels. It's like these weird like flats that are kind of heels, but they're like pinched in for the foot and they're real narrow. So she doesn't like want to stand the best all the time. She does have a thigh swivel, which is really nice. But her feet are just so damn dainty that she's not that fun to pose. And then she's got like weird single jointed elbows, which is so weird. Like, why you do this? And then the head sculpt is really nice. Don't get me wrong. But they could have figured out something for an extra head sculpt to get her to like be able to do more. Like maybe I would have preferred they could have messed around with an extra head. They came with like a yelling face with hair going all over the place. That would look pretty cool. I really like the sculpt of the sword, though. They did a good job with that. The shield looks really, really good. She's not my favorite, but she is a necessity if you're trying to build out the rest of that Justice League. I feel like you really have to have her. You know, she's still nice, still a nice figure, not necessarily one of their best. It's almost like they were going for almost that like Gal Gadot or Godot. I don't know how the hell you say her name. Gadot, Godot, Gadoo, Gadot, Gadot. You do, you don't. You do, you don't. You do, Godot, you Godot. I don't know. But anyway, I'm sure people pronounce my name wrong anyway. I don't, who cares? Still, regardless, she's a nice figure. Not their best. She can stand. She can. She is capable of it, but she has fallen over more than any of my other Mezcos and knocked all my other shit over. So, and it's always because I'm trying to fix. I'm like trying to fix her shoulder pads so they sit up because they always droop down. So I think these are gonna go in the storage. But I like the lasso. Lasso looks really good. I love the sculpt of the boots. Those look really good. The skirt piece looks really nice. Let me get that down a little bit. That looks weird. Her overall build, I do like it. I wish she was I don't know. I tend to like my Wonder Woman to look a little bit beefier. She's not like Gal Gadot skinny. But she is not beefy, like real beefy. I don't know. I like she's an Amazon. Like she's supposed to, and she's like the daughter of Hercules and Hippolyta. So like she should be like beef master, you know? Like Gina Carano beefy, you know? But she looks good though. I like the tan on her. She's got like a nice little tan. And she does look good with the rest of the figure. So we'll leave her out right here. And when you get her posed up, she looks fun. Still, like I said, she's not my least favorite. So moving on. Sticking with the Justice League, we'll move on to the next one, which will be John Stewart. He's a simple one. Very simple design. The design's not simple on the suit itself, but he doesn't really require much. He does come with, I think he came with some constructs. This is another figure that was dirt cheap at one point. $50 you could get him. Or sometimes 45, depending on where you shopped. But I really like this figure. And I'm shocked that they haven't done more Green Lanterns. Like, if they did a Kyle Rayner, they could really, like, have a lot of fun with him. But they didn't do a whole lot of, I think they might have done a Hal Jordan. I can't remember, though. But, you know, John's really cool. I like his character. He's a lot of fun. I wish he would have got a better animated movie, but, you know, they didn't really do right by him in that movie. I don't know. That's just my opinion. But I like the sculpt of the boots. I like the line work. His suit does look very unique to him, I feel like. With all these like extra lines going down and everything and across. He's got these like gauntlets right here. And sometimes John actually did have the black gloves with the ring on, and then some other times he had like green with green. So either which way you look at it, I mean, I think he only had white in his first appearance, and then he switched, like they switched his design to like kind of giving his own look. I love the raised logo for the lantern. I feel like that's kind of like a staple, like having that raised one. I just ordered that Dread use. Description was wear and tear starting to show due to age. Yeah. But accessories head look too awesome to pass up. Yeah. Oh, snap. Yeah. I definitely agree. Like, he is still a really awesome looking figure. I mean, and like I said, worst case scenario, you could always try and find like a Mezco body and kind of maybe salvage what's left. Maybe reuse the magnets off of that suit, put it into a new suit like Woodman suggested, and take off like all the accoutrement, like the knee pads, and reuse the boots and the gloves and the head, because the head is so good. Like, the head is so great. I think that's like the highlight of the figure is that damn head. It just looks so good, you know. But yeah, I think you'll still enjoy it, even with the wear and tear. It might be like one of those Mezcos that are just like, oh, yep, that's just gonna happen. And maybe some of these others won't. It'll take a lot longer for them to do, you know. But he kind of also has that pleathery feel. It's not the same kind of pleather as like Blade, but it's like a different type of pleathery feel where there's cloth for the black and then pleather for the top green portions. Now I've yet to open my alien figure. Oh, no, I'm kind of curious about those. I wonder how those hold up. So maybe you can let me know how they hold up. Um, if or when you open them, I don't mind. Leave me a comment, let me know, or shoot me a message or something, or an email, and let me know how that turns out with the alien figure. I'm pretty sure that alien figures are made out of just like a regular plastic, I would assume. But that's my assumption though, not knowing anything, you know. But yeah, the John Stewart looks really good though. I'm very pleased with it. Like I said, simple but effective. Next one, if you're trying to build up your JSA, you gotta go with this. Oh my god, wonderful looking Aquaman! Holy moly! I said moly really weird. But he looks so good. Like this looks so darn good, and he's got this like back attachment for his trident. I love the sculpt of this trident too. I think the only other time I would get another Mezco Aquaman is if they made the damn hook hand Aquaman. It just looks so good. I always loved hook hand Aquaman. But he looks really good. This is another one of those figures that did not sell well with Mezco. So this might be the only release of Aquaman that we get. A lot of people didn't like how the suit looked. I don't have a problem with this at all. I think it was really clever how they kind of scaled him with the throughout the entire suit, because I mean he's supposed to be an aquatic character, like it would make sense. And then he's very regal looking. Like you could take all this stuff off if you wanted to make him look plain Jane. Like you could take this off. That's magnetic. So there's a better looking at there's a better look at the head. And I just like him with his crown on. I think it just looks really good. Well, you can take this shoulder piece off too. And if you want to go for that more classic look, you could. He's got the fins on the back. And the gauntlet fins right here, almost like a shark fin. Same thing for the boots, shark finish for those aerodynamics in water. Also like even the sculpted detail for the side of the shoes. It just looks so good. He's really like, I want to say this is one of those better figures from Mezco that no one really talks about anymore. It's kind of unfortunate, you know. But he looks really good. And there he is, another shot with that off. That Aquaman and Dr. Fate, I regret missing out. Arrived too late to Mezco. That aged really well. Yeah, I think the Aquaman did really age well. I did also pass on the Dr. Fate. I actually had a second shot at Dr. Fate, and it was like there was a weird time. I want to say maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, where he like dropped in price, and everyone was getting rid of him because he didn't have really good head articulation because of the light up feature for the helmet. And a lot of people kind of complained about it, didn't like it, and they were reselling them. And I had a couple times where I was like, oh, he's only like $60. Like, I should just snag him. And even brand new, he was around $60. And I think he was like originally like 110, 120, something like that. But I passed on him because I was like, I don't think they're going to make the rest of the JSA. And I don't really know if I want to go down I don't want to go that deep into it. So I just wanted the Justice League as far as what we really know of them. I bought an aftermarket cape made for Aquaman. Looks pretty great on him. Oh, well, cool, man. What color cape did you get for him? But yeah, I wouldn't feel too bad about the Doctor Fate unless you're a real big Doctor Fate fan. But yeah, I'm not also not sure on how much he goes for now. I like Doctor Fate. I think he's a great character. I have his. I actually just got his Multiverse figure. So, and he is a key core member to your JSA. You can't have your JSA without Doctor Fate. Love the wired capes. Hopefully, Mattel will continue the wired cape, situation going. It's a green color bleed from that makes him look regal. Yeah, man. That'll work. If you really wanted to give Aquaman that more regal look, that could totally work. Maybe he uses it when he's not like swimming around. Oh yeah, I got that too. Old school superpowers vibe. Yeah, absolutely. I love that. A lot of people complain that he doesn't have like the shoulder pad things or the shoulder armor. But I'm like, I don't care. That doesn't bother me that much, really, for the Mcfarlane one. I'm like, yeah. I would like to get the more modern one, the gold one too, the gold variant. All right, so moving on. Next up, this is my Justice League because I don't know what it is about 90s Justice League, but for God's sake, I can't help myself. I had to go with the Onyx Sovereign Knight Batman for my Justice League display. The all black kind of, obviously harkening back to Michael Keaton. A lot of people did not like this figure when it was coming out. They're like, "Oh, he's too shiny," and I'm like, I don't. Who cares? Like, is that really a deal breaker? No. I do have the regular Sovereign Knight. A lot of people have that set up with their Justice League, but I like the all black. I really do. And the Sovereign Knight is one of my it's probably my second favorite design for Batman that they did, as far as that goes. I really do quite like this look for Batman. He's got that shiny, almost looks like that rubberized cape that Keaton had, or like leathery type look. I don't know. The shine doesn't really bother me, and the cape just sits so perfectly. I love the gauntlets on him. It looks just so like he is peak Batman right here. Like, this is definitely peak Batman. I love the longer ears. It just looks so good. The very 89 Keaton Batman logo with the gold belt, which really breaks up the yellow for the symbol, and over here for the belt. The belt looks just like, I don't know. There's just something about this Batman where a lot of people, I feel like, passed on him. But he's really good. And he did come with extra heads. I think he came with the battle damage and then this kind of like open, kind of semi-open grimacing face. The armor is actually, I think, different on this body from the regular Sovereign Knight, where he had like more armor. And I feel like that's what Batman would want to use if he's on the Justice League, he's taking on bigger threats. He would be using a little bit more armor, Not a whole lot of armor, but a little bit more. And I think the glossy plastic they used also might help with longevity, for longevity's sake. Because it's like a heavier duty plastic. And there's not a whole lot of like mesh on him like there is the regular Sovereign Knight. So this is like quietly become one of my favorites. And I display him with my Justice League. So if I could make an argument for Onyx Batman, there's my argument. And then last up, like I said, I did pass on the first Superman, but I told myself I will not pass on the second version because I would probably, as a Superman fan, ashamed, dishonor myself. But here is the last Mezco figure I purchased in years. Like I said, I do have one on pre-order, but when I get him, well, there's kind of a spoiler. It's a him. When I get him in, and I actually picked him up from Nerdzoic because he was actually a little bit cheaper with shipping and stuff. Anyway, that's also my first purchase from Nerdzoic. So, but there is your, I guess you want to call him very Silver Age Superman, kind of what I envision Superman to be. Came with a boatload of stuff. He came in this